Hey y'all, here's a free psychology counseling video for you. If you haven't seen the movie Good Will Hunting, you should totally watch it. But in that movie, Matt Damon is meeting with, I guess you would call him a mentor. He's assigned a mentor, and it's Robin Williams. And there's a scene where he's talking to him about how his dad physically abused him with like tools and wrenches and belts. Anyways, and then over and over Robin Williams is like, it wasn't your fault, it wasn't your fault. And he says it like 20 times in a row until Matt Damon starts crying. And that was a very touching scene in that movie. And that is what everybody who's a victim of any kind of abuse needs to be told, whether it's sexual or physical abuse or mental abuse or verbal abuse. It wasn't your fault. I guarantee you it wasn't. And you can say that the demons made them do it. I always gave my dad that excuse that, you know, he was possessed, but he let the demons in the first place. So be careful of that. That's why I make these videos and why I wrote my books and why I wrote my blog. Because I don't want anybody to be like my dad. I don't want anybody to be filled with demons that causes them to rape 6-year-old little girls or beat their kids with belts. And there's some song by Tupac, I think it was Tupac, he said his mom would beat him with extension cords. He says, didn't you forget that I was your creation? All I wanted from you was love, hope, and motivation. Kick me out the streets, son, get out of my face. Anyways, and that's not just black families, it's every single race. Child abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse. And this is not okay, and more people should be talking about this. And I pray today that every single person who has a YouTube channel or a podcast, that they will have the courage to talk about this, because it needs to be talked about. Or else, how are we going to end the child abuse? How are we going to protect the children if nobody ever discusses it, you know? Okay, another thing I wanted to share is that if you were abused in any way, you probably blamed yourself. And I went to counseling a lot. My 21-year-old birthday present to myself was to sign up for counseling at Bible University. It was like $12 a session because it was students who were in the master's counseling program. Anyways, my counselor had me bring in pictures of the little me. And at that time, I hated the little me, and I blamed the little me. I thought that I seduced my dad, which is ridiculous because 6-year-olds have no concept of sex. But that's what my dad believed. That's what he told my mom. That's what he told me. That's what he told everybody, because that's like the twisted perception of a child molester. They think that the kid wants it. Yes, kids want hugs, but they don't want sexual interactions. And they certainly don't want to be a mistress to either their mother or their father. And essentially, I caused my dad to commit adultery on my mom, but it wasn't my fault. He was sick and greedy, and he couldn't be satisfied with my mom, so he wanted to do stuff with me too, and possibly my brother. And, you know, so if stuff happened, you don't blame yourself. It wasn't your fault. You know, the person who molested you was greedy. They were greedy. It was their fault. They weren't satisfied with one partner, and they should have been. You know, and for a long time I was mad at my mom because I thought, well, maybe she wasn't meeting my dad's sexual needs, or maybe she wasn't, like, attractive enough, or whatever. But that's kind of ridiculous because I was just a kid. It's not like I was some beauty queen or something. I mean, I was cute, but come on, man. Anyways, if you blame yourself for any abuse that you experienced, you should try going to a counselor and taking pictures of you when you were that age, when you were abused, physically or sexually, and make amends with the little you. Forgive the little you. You know, I would say in counseling, I should have ran away. And she'd be like, well, how could you? Where would you have gone? But I felt that my whole life. I should have ran away. But I was just a 6-year-old kid. I couldn't drive yet. So, anyways, I recommend you all try counseling. It will help you. God loves you. God bless. Bye.